look here.
So
It's
we're
gonna.
we're we're live, everyone, and Nick has already started his complaining. So I just don't know what
Oh,
to
okay. I
say.
see it now. All right. So 2 weeks ago and one
I,
week ago, or 3 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago, they're both
but you're
labeled
you're having too
episode
many
9.
complaints.
I'm just
So
checking on YouTube to see where the
why are you
mistake
checking
was.
YouTube? We have a show to do, Nick.
I can do both.
I don't think that's possible. Hi, Laura. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. I'm having a great time already watching you two.
Well, what can I say?
Well, you
Like
can see what I subject myself
I don't think I would call it
to endure
subjecting, Nick.
every Monday here. What do you
I
mean?
well, I thought remember that you said that you might have some new jokes, but it seems to be a repeat of
I never said that.
previous weeks already.
I never said that.
Well, I feel like I heard it through the what my news sources.
Your news sources.
Yep.
Well, if those are anything like the websites you typically use to reference your information, then I will assume that the truth behind that is marginal at best.
I can't believe this. So, hi, Krista. So Krista's
We haven't.
us.
Krista hasn't joined us in a few weeks here, so welcome back.
Yeah, well,
one of our favorite audience members, one of our favorite past guests.
Well, so are you playing favorites now, Nick? That's not right.
She outdrank you with the soju that night.
I don't think that's possible. So
it's on YouTube. So
I will say that I have some soju right now. So what do I have here? It's green grape.
Is that the one you started on Friday night?
It is, but that's okay because it's nice and cold. So I'll take it.
Okay.
So, oh wow.
Laura, John, whenever he has his on-air soju, his reaction is as if he had never had soju before.
Well, that's okay, Nick. But you know what I'm drinking to tonight, Nick?
Recycling Day.
Yeah, National Recycling Day. How do you know?
Because it was in the promo.
Well, Nick, you have too many complaints. What can I say? Like,
but see this, Laura, he just twists around everything I say. I should just mute myself. John, can I?
Well, I don't think that's okay,
mute
Nick.
Myself the rest of the.
No, but I will say that it's time for the opening music, Nick. What a time to be alive.
Welcome to Funniest Part of My Name, a podcast about math and Korean culture. For information about our podcast, please visit our new website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com.
And now here are your hosts, Professor 승찬 and Nick. 하하하.
What a time to be alive, Nick. Happy Recycling Day, Nick. Yep, Laura, do you recycle? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
I do. I recycle. We separate, but we're lucky and most of our things get taken. We don't have to schlep our stuff far to recycle.
Well, does your community recycle styrofoam?
No, we don't. I didn't know that could be recycled.
See, that's what I hear, but
it can, but most facilities do not have the ability.
You mean like the cheap places that you live, Nick? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Like if you lived in a classy city like I do, where they have lots of facilities for recycling, then you would know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Or maybe I have that luxury.
All right, so let me ask this, John, since you seem to be so much more experienced and knowledgeable in recycling than me. Are pizza boxes and stuff like that has like grease in the paper, is that still not able to be recycled?
That is true. You
That is still
cannot
true. Okay.
actually recycle things with food on them.
Okay.
And by the way, Nick, you should know this because recycling has become so popular in Michigan that Michigan started running recycling ads to educate people about how to recycle properly. And they had the recycling raccoons. Have you seen those ads, Nick?
No, are they TV, print, or what?
Well, no, what it is that what was happening is that people have been recycling things that they shouldn't, like pizza boxes with food crumbs still on them. And so when you put that out to the curb, then guess what happens, Nick? The raccoons come and get into your recycling while it's sitting out at the curb because they think that there's food in the recycling bin.
Okay.
So there's been a whole educational campaign with these two raccoons talking about recycling in Michigan and how you're not supposed to leave things like that out and in your recycle bin. And you're supposed to throw them away. So all you have to do, Nick, is watch a little bit more TV, like just a little bit more. Then you would know a little bit more about these types of things. Maybe an ad would have like come up to you during your favorite episode of Jeopardy or something, or Wheel of Fortune, you know?
Yeah, I'm not enough of a TV watcher, so
So you know who I think would agree with me that you're not much of a TV watcher is Rachel.
Oh, wow.
It feels to me like you don't know very much about pop culture.
You know, John, this sounds like collusion.
I don't think that's what it is.
I can't prove it, but it sounds like it.
Laura, so why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, like anything that you want people to know, and it will not be used against you. I only use things that Nick say against him, but
see,
that
he
won't happen to you.
He admits how much this is just
this isn't collusion.
I guess if it's a solo act, it's not collusion. You're right.
Yeah, that is true, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the solo act. And it's not very funny either. All right. No. So Laura, why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners?
I am Laura Cruz, also known as Haiku Kwan, and I met John and Nick. I think John first through Khan at the conference this past summer, and I interviewed him for the Universal Asian. And then he raved about Nick, in spite of what you see here. He seems to really love it.
I don't know if I believe that.
And then I got the opportunity to interview Nick as well. So I got to know both of you through you telling your stories and allowing me to help put that out there. And I still appreciate that so much. It's helped me just on my own journey too, as I am starting to try to write and tell my own story. So you guys and your bravery and sharing has really helped. And I see how that affects the community. And I'm really happy just to be hanging out with you guys tonight.
Well, thank you for doing your part of it too. I mean, that's just as much a part of the effort as anything from our side. So it's every bit as much of the kind of distribution side of it with you that helps to get people's stories and information out. So much appreciated from our side too.
And Laura, happy as a writer, happy National Writing Month, because it's National Writing Month. And so I usually join what is it called? There's a
you usually join it, but you have no idea what it is.
I don't remember what it's National Novel Writing Month, but it's really just any writing is appreciated and promoted during National Writing Month, and it's just to try to get everyone into regular writing habits. And I usually join the writing month at my college. We have a small group at the college that usually gathers for that, but I personally have been too busy. Not that I yes, it's NaNoWriMo. Thank you, Rachel. That's what I mean. Like I can't remember abbreviations for anything, but it's a real thing, Nick. Like I
Okay.
look on your face is the same look that it usually is, like a look of disbelief that something in pop culture actually exists.
When it's you making a declaration, then yeah, this is the look that's going to be on my face every time.
But all I can say
for the reason you just stated
is that this month I did commit to joining a Korean writing course, and so maybe that is part of my writing habit for November, is that I'm starting to write regularly, at least short paragraphs in Korean to practice my Korean skills. So I think maybe that's a habit that I'll continue, but I am willing to admit this on the show, Nick, but I am a little bit behind on my homework that's due this week. And so I'm going to recycle half of a paragraph from a previous Korean writing class I took.
Well,
but that's okay because it's not really plagiarism if I'm using my own work.
That's true. Yeah.
So I'll drink to that. So,
I mean, I suppose if you wanted to file suit against yourself, I mean, would that require hiring 2 attorneys?
Well, what can I say?
Audience, can you help us with that? If you want to file suit against yourself, must you hire 2 attorneys?
Now, Nick, if you actually...
Did they email the answer, John, to the show email?
Actually knew about... Well, I'm not even going to ask you about any TV ads since I already get the idea that you don't watch TV. Okay, so, Laura,
that's fine.
Do you have any...
I'm just going to sit back and put myself on mute again.
Do you have any favorite TV shows that you watch that are, you think are pop culture icons that Nick is probably missing out on?
The last thing I watched was Ted Lasso. I heard all the hype and I avoided it for a little while, but if you haven't seen it, it's pretty funny and it's short and we really enjoyed it. We actually watched it a couple times through already.
Oh, well, I actually, Nick, should I show my horror film?
Your horror? Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's really... I don't know if I should. I feel like it might be better to put a link to it on our website.
Well, I suppose it depends on what you're if I think I know what you're referencing, then yes. Yes to everything that you're saying.
I still think that a link on the website might be better so that people can go to funnypodcastdetroit.com and look for things going on. So
yes, and if you do have any answers to the question of if you file suit against yourself, if you need to hire 2 attorneys, you can email us at funnypodcastdetroit@gmail.com.
Well, I will say that
we always love to see people's responses there.
That, you know what, I see the chat here, so I will say Rachel says 1 attorney. Lisa asked what if you want to represent yourself. And then Krista says, either way, you win and you lose. So all I can say...
It's good points.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is, as somebody who grew up in the Detroit area, and
No, you
we
didn't.
Yes, I grew up in the Detroit area, Nick.
You grew up in Flint.
No, that's not quite true. So all
It's a
I
good
can
thing you're not a
say
geography professor then.
is, yeah, I never took Michigan geography because my high school and elementary school didn't offer it.
Well,
So,
aside from
like,
that, you
so
can
I
still look
have-
at a
I
map.
have the public education system to blame for me not knowing about the Michigan geography.
Okay, I mean, you've had a lot of
Oh.
time since then to just view
No,
a
all I
map
can
of the
say
area
is
you live.
I asked my high school to offer me a Michigan geography and history class, and they refused.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you then.
So if kids are our future, which is what schools always say, then the future is fairly bleak if they can't even manage to teach kids about the geography and history of their own state.
I don't know if is that a common thing
Or
either
did you-
now
did
or
you
back when we
actually
were in high school.
have any like local history or state history or anything like that classes or geography classes in school?
No, that would have been useful though. I'm one of the most directionally impaired people ever. So if they would have taught me the geography of where I live, that probably would have been more useful than some of the other stuff they taught me.
And wouldn't you say that you may have been more interested in the course as well?
Yeah,
Because
it would
of-
have had more relevance.
So I was thinking about this past week, and I remember my high school history class for one reason. And it's because I absolutely hated the teacher. And his name was Mr. Walbert. That's Wolbert. But anyway, Mr. Walbert. And so did either of you ever have penny drives at your schools growing up where
penny
they
drive.
collect a whole bunch of pennies and then listeners, do any of you know what I'm talking about?
We get different drives, not penny drives though.
Well, so every year, once a year, you brought in pennies to school, and then the teachers, like whatever our class it was, like you would say, well, whatever pennies you bring in, the teacher cannot start teaching the class that day until they count all of the pennies that have been brought in for that class. And so I remember Mr. Walbert because he was one of the most hated teachers at the high school. And so everyone would save up all of the pennies they brought for his class.
So it would take forever to count them, and class wouldn't actually happen.
That's the funny thing is he was the fastest penny counter I've seen in my life. And it like the funny thing, like he would just like, and he would be done with like thousands and thousands of pennies in record time.
Was he
I would have
rolling them?
loved to have seen. Well, I would have loved to have seen Guinness World Records in there.
Was he rolling them?
Well, yes, because but like I said, he like had the roll. He pre-taped rolls, like the penny roll papers along the desk, and like knew exactly like about he knew by touch and feel, since he had been bombarded with pennies for most of his teaching career, how many pennies are in roll? 100? Yeah, how many?
50.
50. Yeah, he knew what 50 pennies felt like.
Well, I mean, John, from someone who had a job in money handling for quite a while, it's pretty easy, especially when you try to go fast, to be off by one or two, either above or below, and not even notice.
But he Laura, he even doubts Mr. Walbert's penny counting abilities.
If you're doing it at speed, yeah. I mean, I doubt anybody's if you're going fast enough.
Well, Nick, all I can say is that, you know what?
Wait, John, what was the point of this topic or this story?
All right, so before I forget, everyone, I do want to tell you what are some of the events coming up this week. And so let's see. What do we have here? Oh, by the way, do you know 17? Do either of you know 17?
Other
They're
than
a K-pop group, but
oh,
oh my, their newest one, their newest one of their newest songs, it's what is it called? I don't see. I'm not very good with it. The Rock with You. If you haven't seen the music video for it, oh my, like it's just go and watch it. I wouldn't. We can't play it right now because it's copyrighted music.
John, there's a kimchi day a day from today or a week from today, but it's only in California.
Well, Nick.
How do we make that more universal?
Well, Nick, you have too many complaints.
Except that was a question.
So what I will say is, Nick, if you're that concerned, then why don't you join government like I did? Because I'm on the Warren City Cultural Commission. So you know what I'm going to do, Nick, is at the next Cultural Commission meeting, I might just say Warren needs a kimchi day.
I'm good with that.
Well, you don't even live here. So your
Why
voice doesn't matter to the residents of Warren. Because
I didn't say it did. I just said I'm good. If that passes, I'm good with it.
This is unbelievable. So anyway, there's
he
lots
does
of
Laura.
events coming up.
You see what happens here?
It doesn't matter what you do, Nick, whether
Right.
you support him or disagree with him.
So by that count, I should just go back on mute.
So you know what, Krista, if you know of any K-pop concerts, or if anyone knows of any Korean events, Korean adoptee events, anything that would be appropriate for the calendar, you can email us at funnypodcastdetroit@gmail.com. And I will say that, we really take pride in trying to make sure that there's something for everyone on this calendar here.
What about vegans, John? Because I know you love vegan diets.
If people want to eat their vegan hot dog on New Year's Day, so be it, Nick.
Okay.
So now, Laura, do you like vegan food?
I do, but I also eat meat. And now all of you talking about hot dogs makes me think of your last episode with Rachel dressed up as a hot dog.
Ah, yes.
Well, all I can say is, by the way, yeah, it's okay to be sad.
Where'd you get that?
Well, Nick, you have too many complaints. What can I say? So this "It's Okay to Be Sad" sticker is the listener prize for trivia tonight. So
all right.
That's a pretty cool and unique prize. Wouldn't you say so, Nick?
Yeah.
And not to be outdone, right?
Not to be outdone.
Well, no, because we have to, right? We have to tell Laura what the prize will be for Laura, right?
Oh, I get a prize.
Oh, yeah. You're guaranteed to win too.
Yes. So today's prize is the usual drinks on the show at next year's conference or at a location convenient for you.
Oh, no, John, that second part, that's an addition.
No, because we remember that when Megan was on the show, we decided that we have to be ADA compliant. So if somebody can't make it to the conference for whatever reasons, we will comply.
Was she on before or after you saw her in New York?
Before and after.
No, that's no.
All right, Nick, you have.
She was only on once.
So no, that's actually fake news.
You know, John, for being a math professor, your logic during the show just goes right down to the.
No, I think your memory is going. Hey, what did you do, Nick? You must have drank a little bit of some expired beer during National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day today. Isn't that what happened, Nick?
Possible.
Did everyone know that it's National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day?
Did you know that it's also National Hermit Cookie Day and
I did know
National
that.
Bunt Pan Day?
I did know
Hermit
that.
cookie?
Yes.
What is
and
that?
I looked it up because I had the same question.
Yeah, so-
It is a cookie with various spices and potentially raisins and nuts. So it sounds very strikingly similar to an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Yeah.
And it got the name, and I only did like 2 seconds of research, so I could be wrong, but it has the name theoretically because it can last a long time.
Oh.
So hermit.
Yes, that
It's like
is
an anti-stale cookie.
Or
No.
from a stale.
Yeah,
Although
but-
technically every cookie, if you leave it long enough, it goes from a chewy cookie to a crunchy one. So there's
I
Vice
don't-
versa. Yeah.
okay, I don't think that's quite fair to say, Nick, because are you are you saying that you have lived long enough to experience 1,000-year-old cookie that you
Me
baked
personally?
yourself?
No, not me personally.
I don't know what to say.
I don't think you have to say anything else.
That's just outrageous, Nick. But
I think most cookies go stale short of 1,000 years. Although a big one from like McDonald's would
no,
probably
in
take 1,000.
addition, or your prize will
The
be
fries
this,
do.
this round sticker of "It's okay to be sad."
John,
love it.
where did you get all these?
Well, they're in the prize box, Nick.
Oh, so you had them.
Well, how would I show it if I didn't have it? Is this like
Or you've had
some
them
alternate
okay, all right. I don't know.
universe?
I don't know. I don't really know where I was going
Actually,
with that question.
I
So
did get
disregard
them.
it.
Believe it or not, I think that
What were those cookies
Lisa-
again? Hermit something cookies?
Hermit
Yes.
cookies.
I think that Lisa was with me when I got these stickers because I got them at the Freedom of the Press Festival at Eastern Market. So that's all I can say.
Okay.
Now, Nick,
Can we get a commercial break? I
Well,
think I
Nick,
need to
we
prepare myself for trivia.
I really feel like you should give the audio visual team a little bit of a break here, Nick, because you're just interjecting and they can't get any work done with all your complaints here.
Oh, well,
So guess what, Nick? It's time for a break.
good. I need one.
It's exciting, Nick.
John, what's up with the Bran flake cereal?
Well, I didn't think you would know, but Laura, do you know why we had that?
I do. It's also National Raisin Bran Cereal Day.
Oh,
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, I can't believe this.
well, John, the first cereal you showed was not Raisin Bran. It was just like regular Bran flakes with
Now-
strawberries
Now
falling.
hold on. That's fake news.
And I suppose it could be Raisin Bran cereal that you just picked out all the raisins individually to make it just regular Bran flake cereal.
Yeah, well, all I can say, Nick, is that you have too many complaints. Now, I happen to
I wonder if he
really-
collects $1 for every time he says that. Laura, do you
Now,
think that's possible?
I really would like to admit that
He's gonna
Get
get like a-
tagline here.
He's gonna get like a $60 check at the end of this.
well, one of the things that I did as
Might
a
be more than
kid
that.
is I
It's
would
probably at the
always,
rate we're
like,
going.
take all of the the raisins out of the Raisin Bran because they had the sugar on them.
Oh, I took them all out and ate them. That was
and
like,
so that's exactly what the Raisin Bran looked like after I ate all the raisins out of it, Nick. So this reminds me of my childhood.
So you only ate the raisins, or you ate the whole thing just separately, though? Like you separated out the two components?
Well, you know what, Nick, I'm giving you minus 500 points, and I'm giving them to Laura. So Laura, I'm giving you 500 points.
Well, this is the first, John. We've never had reallocation of points like this.
Well, that's okay, Nick. And Laura, I'm giving you 10,000 more points for your knowledge of the national days today.
Wow.
I did my homework.
How many did I lose, John? 500?
500,000 now, Nick.
Oh, 500,000. There was a 1,000 multiplier in there.
Wow.
Now, what I will say is, you know, Nick, how I
good thing these points aren't cumulative week to week. That number would be monstrously.
Yeah, you would.
On what day was it? Like Friday, I told you that when I retire, I want to be a philanthropist, and you told me that's not a real job.
I mean, it's not, because
But what are you going to tell all the people who are celebrating National Philanthropy Day today? That's not a real thing and that they shouldn't be celebrating?
Well, it depends how you define a job.
This is unbelievable. I can't believe this.
But I mean, a job is usually how money comes in. Philanthropy is how money is usually going out. I'm not saying that it's not.
Now, Nick, this isn't the show isn't a fundraising
good or necessary,
effort. But if you would be interested in being our corporate sponsor, just email us at funnypodcastdetroit@gmail.com. Isn't that right, Nick?
Well, does it have to be a corporate sponsor though? Could it be like a nonprofit or something?
But I'm saying that if there's a corporate sponsor who is interested.
So why don't we just say we're looking for a primary sponsor, and that way it's open to any party that wants.
Why don't we have a nonprofit sponsor and a corporate sponsor? Why are you limiting our reach?
I'm not. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying like it should just be worded as a primary sponsor, so that way it's available to any.
Then are you saying that when we have a second sponsor, they'll be the secondary sponsor, and then you're saying they're the second best?
I think you have to have tiers for sponsors. It depends on how much sponsorship.
I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. So Laura,
yes.
So now, what do you think about? Oh boy,
what did you do now?
Well, I didn't do anything. Like I feel like.
Well, there was a moment of alarm in your voice.
There is, because I'm more alarmed for you, Nick, because I don't think that you're going to know about this.
Oh. So
yeah, exactly. See, did you know that it's American Education Week?
Now, is that meant to be education within America or education about America, or what does that cover in this case?
Well, this is just an opportunity to celebrate public education and honor individuals who are making a difference and ensuring that every student receives a quality education.
Okay.
From everyone from the bus driver to the cafeteria worker and everyone in between.
Okay.
Laura,
they're all part of the education system, so that makes sense.
Now, I will say that I already actually said who my least favorite teacher of all time was today, but I feel a little bit bad singling out Mr. Walbert, actually.
Do you really feel bad about that?
Well, a little bit.
Laura, if he felt so bad about it, he wouldn't have done it.
He spelled his name for us.
Right. Good call.
Well, that's okay.
Good call.
That's okay. I feel like I hope
he's watching, John.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm giving Mr. Walbert some recognition.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, it's so. Is it better to be infamous or
thank
anonymous?
You, Mr. Walbert, wherever you may be.
John,
made a difference in my life.
I was going to say that despite the fact that you did not like him, he seems to have left a mark on you.
Yes, exactly. He left a mark on me. And so to that, Mr. Wolbert, I'll take a shot in your honor.
Oh, good.
And the rest will be history.
Wow. Clever.
See what I did there, Nick?
I did. That was pretty good.
Clever.
So Laura, who, is there somebody working in education who you would like to recognize?
I have a lot of teacher friends that work in education. So it's hard to single one of them out. Although I will say, if we're talking about previous instructors, my philosophy for children professor that I had when I went to Hawaii was the most amazing human being I have ever met. He was one of those people that just, you saw him and it was like he glowed, and he just loved people, and he loved kids, and he was so smart. And I met him at a time when my life was not super awesome, and he took care of me both as a student and as a human.
Oh yeah, that's great. I feel like that's what really stands out. Like I feel like, that's just, it just warms my heart, and I really just know, as an educator myself now, that the people who just take the extra moment and go out of their way to make the students know that they care are just the best people out there. So Nick.
Yes. Yes, Professor.
I will say, though, I am going to say, though, for those pieces of scum out there
wow, John's pretty aggressive.
Well, no, I'm just saying that.
I don't even know what you're alluding when you say pieces of scum with such
not
gusto.
You, but for the pieces of scum out there who make education a nightmare for some people, get yourself a new job immediately, because you make a bad name for everyone, and you just need to get out of there. And I will even give you a free Domino's pizza if you quit your job today.
Wow, that's pretty zealous.
And I'm talking about the pieces of scum, like the cafeteria worker who, when I was in high school, there were a lot of specials in the hot lunch line. And so I paid for 6 chicken nuggets. He only gave me 4. And when I went back to ask for the rest of the food I paid for, he took my tray and threw it in the trash behind him and said, "You're not eating today." So to that piece of scum and the others like him, get out of the education field. I don't want you. No one wants you. Find a new job. There you go, Nick.
Okay.
So who would you like to give a shout out to, Nick?
I'm doing mental inventory here to
Yeah, I tried to even give you some extra time to think, and you blew it, Nick. So I was stalling for you, Nick. So
okay, I mean, you were telling a story and I was listening to the story. I don't know if that's the same as stalling.
I was stalling to give you time to think about who you would like to.
So do you want me to answer that, or
yes, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, okay. I thought I had lost my turn. No, I was doing mental inventory of all the other educators that we've had join us on the program here. And I think those individuals deserve a little recognition considering the occasion.
Well, okay.
I know we've had a few.
Yes. And you know what we should do? We should get Allie on the show again and have her do some meat education for us. You know, like
Well, I mean,
that would
yeah,
be great.
yeah. She's not the only educator who has joined us formerly, though. We
Yeah,
have
and
a
so
couple.
I will say, you know what? I have a ham sandwich that I didn't finish earlier, and I dedicate the rest of my sandwich to Allie.
Did you make sure it was a non-vegan
Well,
selection?
all right. If you want a vegan selection, I have a banana here.
Oh, okay.
So, are potato chips vegan?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, but wait a second, Nick, because you could have
Oh yeah, like
non-vegan
if you have
potato
like
chips.
yeah, like a cheese dusted variety. Okay, you're right.
So,
what kind of chips are they?
well, they're better made.
What are they? Just crinkle cut or
The wavy ones.
wait? Okay. I presume
But
those are
Have
vegan.
you ever had better made, Laura?
What is that?
It's
they're
a
better
local
made
Detroit
chips. So
brand.
That's your answer. Nope, I have not. But I do
So-
love potato chips in pretty much actually potatoes in pretty much all forms. So I'm sure they would be acceptable.
Yes, and so these
They're pretty good.
you can actually buy a better made chip tin on the internet if you want to try them sometime. So now, Laura, we had a request to know your favorite philosopher.
Oh.
Does it matter living or
Oh,
deceased?
Nick, wait,
or-
this isn't your question. So now let's see. So what do you say, Laura?
Well, my brain goes blank when people ask me questions, but off the top of my head, I'm a big fan of the Tao of Pooh.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah, but actually I was a philosophy major in college for a while, so there's a whole bunch of names floating around my head, but I don't have any good answers at the
well,
moment.
that's okay. I think that if you think of some things, feel free to let us know later in the show. But
or you could email the show afterward.
yes, but did you know that it's also National Drummers Day? Yeah, I see,
No,
Nick, the look on your face.
I
Now-
didn't go through the whole list.
Well, what can I say? So I feel like what we should do is have a little drum roll right now. What do you think?
Are you gonna do it?
Well, I don't know. Like, do you think I am qualified to do that?
Yeah,
Really?
not
I'm
by a
not so
lot,
sure.
but I mean, I think you
I
make the
really
baseline.
don't think that I am qualified to do that.
Well, not with that attitude.
Well, but what can I say? But I don't think we should have one, Nick, because
all right.
you have too many complaints. And
Why don't you poll the listening audience or the viewing audience?
All right. So should we have a drum roll? Oh, by the way, Laura,
What do you think, Laura?
the
I mean,
listeners want to know your favorite form of potato.
Ooh, favorite form.
Now, I'm going to drink to whatever it is that
That's
you pick.
tough. I mean, it depends on the time of day. There's some things that play into that. Although
I like that
morning-
answer. Time of day. Yes.
Have you had hash brown waffles? Freaking
I-
amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That-
So yes, hash brown waffles. Oh my, Nick, you're getting muted because you keep on interrupting our guest. So now, yes, I'll drink to that, Laura. So now, what I will say is I feel like the idea of potatoes is a really big issue for me, because I think some people might consider corned beef hash in like as a form of potato, because it's different when the corn, like the potato is taste a little bit different when it's mixed in with the corned beef,
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I-
you say that potatoes mixed in with any other thing would make them taste different? though?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I don't think that normally, like, you have that form of potato mixed in, like usually like shepherd's pie. It's more of like a mashed potato type thing, and not like diced up.
Okay. Wait,
Or-
what's the argument here? I'm not following.
I'm saying that I like corned beef hash.
Okay, so I don't.
All right, Nick, you're not a corned beef hash fan, so you're getting muted. So now, you know what, Laura? What is your favorite type of French fry?
I like really skinny, crunchy ones. They've got to be very crispy. If they're floppy, then that's
But
a.
do you like the coating, the ones with the coatings?
Mm,
So like matchstick fries.
yeah. I like them when they're. I think it depends on the coating, and there's a lot of variables that come into play with the coating. It depends on how thick it is, what they used, if it's interfering with the texture and the flavor of the potato fry itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought that goes into this.
I know.
I appreciate this
but
I love
depth of
Google.
analysis.
I feel like Nick, you know what, I think that I have another question, Laura. So do you have a favorite like holiday potato dish?
Holiday potato dish. This isn't a holiday potato dish, but there's a Spanish tapas restaurant around, and they have these potatoes bravas, and they're these like chunks that are coated in a spicy.
Oh my!
Should be a holiday for that.
Wondering
Whatever you're
because-
describing.
Have you ever had those, Nick? Potatoes bravas?
Maybe
Just
I
look
don't
in
know.
your face. I'm muting you because so Laura, I'm going to tell you that I've been craving some potatoes bravas for a year and a half now. And we have a Spanish tapas restaurant right in Midtown Detroit. And oh my, like it's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite type of potatoes. So I will say that every time I've went down there in the last year and a half, they've either been closed, super busy, or I was there when I didn't have time to wait. So I need to go. So you know what? That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get myself some potatoes bravas.
John, what's the place you're describing?
It's La Fiera. And so I will say, I feel like I've talked about this place on the show before, Nick, and you have a bad memory. But one
I
time
didn't say that you didn't, but okay.
I left my backpack in the restaurant.
Oh, yes, you did tell the story.
After a Pistons game, and then I was like, I'm not gonna go back. Like that somebody probably already took it. And
you can bring a backpack into the Pistons game?
Well, Nick, you're not as clever as I am, apparently. So now.
No, that's probably true.
Now remember, Nick, I know a lot of illegal maneuvers.
We're aware. You've described them in detail on the show prior.
So now what I will say is that, yeah, I went back to the restaurant a week later, thought, like the backpack will be long gone. And they immediately recognized me and said, you're the guy who's missing their backpack, aren't you?
Oh, it was like a week later?
Here. Yeah, like at least a week later, week and a half later at least. And they said, just wait right here. And they brought out my backpack.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long after. I thought it was maybe a day or two.
Oh no. So like they're very nice people there. Their food is amazing. And like like the potato bravas. Oh my. I don't know what to say.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to go sometime.
All right. So Laura, do you have a favorite potato restaurant?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Yes, it is because
I need to
will
go
say
there. I think we all need a field trip.
I would say that
I
Funny
agree.
podcast field trip.
yes, my favorite potato place is this is always a toss up.
Are you gonna say?
But
Please don't say Chicken Shack.
you're kidding, Nick. Do you not realize that Chicken Shack is known for their chicken? I'm muting you. This is unbelievable. If they were known for their potatoes, they would be called Potato Shack. So now I will say that I would say my favorite is the potato place it's in Midtown Detroit. But oh my, the potato place, like the baked potatoes are like the size of my face, and with the cheese and the bacon and the butter on them. Oh my.
Oh, you know what I just had? Actually, I made a whole bunch of them. Purple sweet potatoes. Have you had
Ooh,
those?
yes.
Freaking delicious. Their texture is just like a little denser than a regular sweet potato, and they've got like almost a, I want to say nuttiness to them.
Sort of like soju.
Soju doesn't have a nutty.
No, especially not green grape flavor, which I have never had.
I think he busted open another one.
This is peach.
Did you already kill the green grape?
There wasn't very much in there, Nick, because you drank too much of it the other night. So now I will say, have I had tachos, Krista?
What are those?
Well, see, this is what I mean. I'm muting you because like I don't want to hear about another gap in your pop culture knowledge, Nick, that you don't know what tachos are. This is outrageous. Tachos are, oh my, yeah, you know what, Krista, because I'm a big taco fan. Oh my. Now, what I would say is that what I would really like to try is the like tater tots with the churri queso dip on it. You know, like with the white cheese sauce and the chorizo just dripping all over tater tots. Oh my. What can I say? Like, and you know what you do with that? You know what you do? I would say what you do is you take the tater tots and you take the churri queso dip, and then you roll it, like wrap everything up in a tortilla, and then push a stick through it and deep fry it.
Wow.
And there's your new state fair, like carnival food winner of 2022. It's coming to a state fair near you next year. Wow. Mark my words.
We're really jumping on the cholesterol train here.
Well, you know what, Nick? That's okay, because
it's not if you have high cholesterol.
I'm sure that it is healthier than those deep fried Oreos.
That's probably true, actually.
So you know what? I'm doing those carnival lovers a fan.
That's fair.
Like a fan favorite new food coming your way.
I second that. Yeah, I don't like Oreos just in normally. So yeah, deep fry them. They're not anymore interested. Probably less interested.
Now, Laura.
John, do we have trivia or what?
Okay, Nick, you have two making points. So now, Laura, do you have a favorite? What's your favorite fast food French fry?
Like a chain fast food, or Because right now there's a little drive-in that's near it's more like 30 minutes from our house, but there's a little drive-in that makes really good fries. They're the thin, crispy ones, and then they have their own seasoning that they call bunny dust.
Wait, where's this place?
It's in Duncannon, Pennsylvania.
What is it called?
Red Rabbit.
It's called Red Robin.
John's gonna be
Red Rabbit.
John's gonna be driving after the show's done.
Well,
all
I
through the
can
night
say is that I think that sounds really good. In the fact that you mentioned you said it's a powder on the fries.
Seasoning.
You know what that reminded me that I miss is the Lotte Burger Shake fries. Oh my! Do either of you know what I'm talking about? The Shake fries.
It sounds familiar, but I've never had them.
Listeners, do you know about Shake fries? So Lotte Burger in Korea, like fast food chain, you get a little like sack of fries, and they give you the like, it's sort of like cheese powder, this most closest thing would be the powdered cheese in the mac and cheese boxes, but it's not that type of cheese. But you put it on the fries and then you shake the bag up. Oh my!
Are they better than Hopcat fries?
Are you kidding me? I want some shake fries right now.
Okay.
Oh yes, Krista. You know what? I would put the powder on my chicken nuggets too.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh my.
John, is there anywhere in the US you can get that?
Are you kidding me, Nick? Yeah. Can you believe he asked that, Laura?
I was distracted by the chat. I'm sorry.
So
I missed
all
what
I
he
can
asked
say,
you.
Laura, is that what I will say is you passed today's potato trivia test with flying colors, so you get 50,000 points.
Oh,
and
yes.
Nick got 0 questions about potatoes, right? So that's negative 5 million. And
I guess that's true because you didn't give me any questions about potatoes. So
no, yeah, you got lots of questions and you just got them wrong.
I'll have to go back and listen to the tape.
Well, good thing that we don't use tape, Nick. This is the 21st century.
The film, the recording,
and tape will
the
be
media
non-environmentally friendly, and we can't have that on National Recycling Day.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah. I so now you admit it.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, that I'm right.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I can't believe this.
Congratulations, Laura, on a valiant win. I mean,
thank you. I put a lot of effort into that.
You did actually. That's one of the best victories that we've ever had.
I feel like I learned a lot about some new ideas for potatoes, and you know what? What I'm going to do is I am going to give you one last chance to redeem yourself, Nick.
Oh.
Because we usually have sudden death, right?
We do, yeah.
So this is now sudden death.
Okay.
All right. So now, what holiday is celebrated on November 15th in Austria? So, Nick, what is it?
So today in Austria.
Now, wait a second. Now, Nick, don't answer yet, because I will say that the first listener to put the holiday in the live chat will win today's listener's prize.
Okay, so, I'm holding off.
So now
I'm holding off my wrong answer.
Okay, so go ahead now, Nick, because I'm sure that you're going to get it wrong and it won't help the listeners anyway.
Did one of the listeners get it already?
Well, not yet. I mean,
Not yet, okay.
But let's see. So I'm just going to take
Is
another.
it Austria?
Yeah, let's say. Now, remember, that's not the same as Australia, Nick.
I am aware.
So I wanted to make sure that you.
I'm actually very good at geography, John, despite the fact that, well, I mean, we learned geography in school, just not of my.
So I will say that I
necessarily.
took a W in geography 3 times in college. I think I've told you that story before,
You
Nick,
took a
right?
W? What do you mean?
A withdrawal grade. You don't know what a W grade is? Can you believe this, Laura? I think everyone knows that W means withdrew from the class, right?
I think.
Yeah, see, that I can't believe this. So
I never
Did
withdrew.
not know that?
I never withdrew from a class.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what though? I just worked at a university. So like that's not fair because I don't know if I would have known that if I wouldn't.
yeah,
have
go
had
ahead,
that
Lisa.
job I
What
had.
is the name of the holiday? Like, so Lisa says that she knows
Wait,
the name of the
do I
holiday.
get to guess or?
Well, yeah,
or-
go make your guess, Nick.
Oh,
But
National Jägermeister Day.
so do you really think that's a thing in Austria?
Yeah.
I'm giving you minus 5,000 points that carry over to the next show.
Okay, that's fine.
Because that's how bad that answer is.
That's actually not that bad because didn't I end up with like
because
negative
you
a billion points
it
last
is
week?
bad because you just disrespected all of Austria on St. Leopold's Day.
Oh, all right. Well,
And did you know Laura, did you know that was St. Leopold's Day?
I did because I Googled it.
Yeah, see, like that's all you had to do, Nick, is like do a little show prep this one time and you would have known to.
yeah. Well,
I can't believe this. And
I-
so
I try to leave myself as ignorant and naive as possible in order to give you more grounds to
well, that's
ridicule
okay,
me
Nick.
on air.
But that's okay. I feel like, we have, oh, by the way, before we get to the, sorry, I think that, what this is, the audio visual team thought that you were done, Nick, because you got so many answers wrong.
I am done.
can't
I'm
believe
finished.
this. Well, why would you
exhausted.
say that?
Why would I say that?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
This is unbelievable, Nick.
All right, well.
So now Lisa, you has won the prize today. So now,
Congratulations, Lisa. Well earned. Well earned.
so remember that all listeners have to claim their prize by emailing us at funnypodcastdetroit@gmail.com. Oh, and by the way, Rachel, your prize is in the mail, but finally, I'll admit that I did say that I was a little bit slow on getting things out, but
Well, that's why they call it snail mail.
also, though, you got a special gift in addition to what is already on its way.
Oh, and a bonus gift.
Yes, but it's a surprise.
Okay.
But Nick,
Yes.
all right, now wait a second. So Laura, do you have anything else you would like to share with our listeners, like anything about like how they can find you on Instagram, or maybe like anything exciting that you haven't shared with us about your favorite potato recipe or anything?
Or general words of wisdom.
Yes, our general words of
We'll take it
wisdom.
all.
Oh my goodness, that's a broad sweeping everything. You can find me on Instagram. I think I'm haiku_Kwan. You can find me on my blog at haiku-kwan.com. You can find me on the Universal Asian, having interviewed people like John and Nick here. Favorite potato recipe? I don't have a favorite recipe because I just throw stuff together. But I will tell you, going back to that hash brown waffle thing, if you get that and throw a bunch of cheddar and crunchy bacon and chives and all sorts of seasonings in there and shove that into a waffle maker, you'll be a very happy person. General words of wisdom.
Now, Laura, I think that's enough words of wisdom right there. Just make that recipe.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
Let's
because
leave it there.
I will say that I'm allergic to chives, but I can leave that out.
You
but
can use
I will
onion or
say-
anything else.
I will say that I have done something similar, but my meat of choice has been ham. But I might try it with bacon now that you said something.
I feel like you could put a lot of different meats in there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Nick, I want to see your recipe made with sardines, and then you can tell me what you really feel about that.
What happens if I don't do that?
Well, then, Nick, then I'll shove some anchovies in your car when you're not looking.
I mean, as long as they're still packed nicely in a can and I can eat them, that's fine.
This is unbelievable. All right. So now, guess what, Nick? It's time for your final joke of the week.
Is it time for that already? Wow.
Yeah, it
my.
is. Yeah, it really is.
Can't believe it. Just
I can't believe it.
snuck
either.
right up on us.
It really did.
Oh, all right. Are you ready for this one, John?
Laura, are you ready?
Is anybody ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Oh, okay, good. That's the best I can ask. All right. How do you make 7 even?
Well, you know what, Nick? I think all you do is you take off all of the letters that aren't even,
What?
like all the letters that don't spell out the word even.
Oh.
Right, do you
So
see what I
basically-
mean, Laura?
Yeah, you take off the
Yeah.
S.
Mhm.
This isn't funny. Like
Well-
people don't want a brain teaser, Nick. They want a joke. I can't believe this.
Well, it's because you took like the most roundabout way to explain it.
Oh, I have a
Oh.
joke too.
Oh yeah, go for it, Laura.
So a weasel walks into a bar and the bartender says, I haven't served your kind in a while. What can I get you? Pop goes the weasel.
Oh,
I'm only laughing because it was funny before you even got to the end. Unlike Nick's jokes. Now, what I will say, Nick, is did you ever watch the show E12?
no.
That's why you didn't know your joke wasn't funny.
Oh,
Because
well, you should know better, John. I don't watch enough TV. We already discussed this.
But what your joke is a test they would have made up on E12.
Oh,
Because they usually would put something like you have to read a question and it would be, and then they would put the word spelled out like 7 and then touch what would turn 7 into an even number.
oh,
And that's the type of test on E12.
okay. Well,
So I know your kind, Nick, and know that
my
your-
kind.
your-
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
shit. Wow.
That sounds pretty.
No,
there's
that
a lot
your
of prejudice
jokes-
behind that statement.
no, but
I
that
know
your
your
jokes
kind.
are really E12.
Wow. I feel
aren't jokes
deprived
at
of
all.
discrimination of some sort, John. I don't know how to describe
Well,
it.
that's
but-
okay. So you know what? This is like a soap opera, right? You have to stay tuned until next week to figure out what happens next.
To be
All right, have
continued
a
with
nice-
an ellipses.
One, this is real. Have a nice week, everyone.
Yeah.
You know where this is at, Nick? You know where this is at, Laura? Nice.
Thank you for watching Funniest Part of Your Name. Don't forget to visit our new website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com. We'll see you back here next Monday at 10 p.m. for an all-new episode.